Okay, then 5.3 is STI Courses. Lynn, do you want to speak about that, or Anne Marie's here also?
I answered several board questions earlier today about these STI courses that are up for approval. I'm not sure if there are further questions. These all have gone through our standard approval process and they've been explained.
Are there any other questions, or should we just give the highlights of those questions for the benefit of?
Yeah, maybe, I mean, I'll just, so I think I had a question about the Metamorphosis, I think it's called Metamorphosis Math Summer Institute, so maybe, Ms. Shane, it would be helpful to explain to the folks in the community sort of how that fits in with the item in terms of professional development and plans for math for next year in the elementary schools.
Metamorphosis is a professional development initiative that we proposed and included in our budget requests to help build capacity of our elementary classroom teachers in mathematics. And the budget, or the proposal, which I've shared with the board, includes attending a 5-day August workshop for which the registration fee will be paid by the district for those who have stepped forward to be considered to be math facilitators. So these folks will be giving up 5 of their days. They're not getting paid to attend. Their registration is being covered. It's in the city. They'll be going to the city for 5 full days. And this is a package that the facilitators have to take the 5-day summer course and agree to meet once a month for 10 months after school, which is part of the STI after school course for STI credit. And they've also signed up and agreed that they will open their classrooms for their colleagues to come and watch them teach using the methods that they've learned from the summer and from the monthly facilitators PD. It covers the cost of the facilitators to come to Scarsdale for those 10 meetings, and also to do on-site coaching for the facilitators in their schools. And so that's the package plan. And so it has partly the summer responsibility and the STI course responsibility. Okay. You want me to go through the other questions? I don't know if everybody had.
The other one, I think I had a question of the positive education.
Yeah, so positive education is an STI summit, a course for K-12 teachers who have used the elements of positive education. And this is a higher level course for teachers, for psychologists, for coaches, nurses, and others to communicate what is working and what can be improved regarding positive education. It assumes that each participant has the ability to enter the course with an in-depth presentation on an area of positive education they have already used. And many of the individuals for this course will run their own STI courses, so there is what you call a cascading effect, so that more teachers will be involved in the conversation. This course will be coordinated by Elliot Cohen, our head district psychologist, and he will be running 3 other courses relating to positive education as well. Challenge 2, mindfulness, and type in the classroom are also part of this. At dinner time, we did talk about the wellness initiative, and this expands it.
And, yeah, I recall, I think Mr. McDermott was talking about positive psychology, so this is, I guess.
This is part of this, yes. But this is open now K through 12. It's not just at the middle school. And then the other question was about adult English as a new language. These classes began in 2007 out of the interdependence discussions at the time on how to reduce communication issues between teachers and families whose first language is not English and who are new to the district and also new to English. It's basic conversational level. It's had 8 to 12 participants representing parents from all 5 elementary schools. The learning goes both ways. Parents practice English and learn about their child's school in a welcoming environment, while the ENL teacher develops rapport with the families to understand their specific concerns. This is a wonderful service to parents in our community. So Anne Marie, you may want to explain further, but Anne Marie, who helped with the answer to this question, said that perhaps the title should be Student Parents for Whom English is a New Language rather than Community Members.
Right, I think it was assumed that community members meant parents of students who are ENL. And just to give you an example for that, just recently, Jennifer Nassa, who teaches the course at Fox Meadow, had a lot of questions from parents about the ELA testing and how that affected students who were ENL. And she wasn't really that aware of how much of a concern that was for them. They really didn't have any other avenue to ask that question. And she was able to bring out the bilingual glossaries that are available to students. And the languages represented in just that group were Spanish, Brazilian Portuguese, Japanese, and Chinese. And she was able to show those parents the bilingual guides that the students have supplied by the state for that test. So she's really able to bridge the school and home communication gap, especially for those folks who don't understand English as well as some of the other families.
Is it fair to say that this is very much, you would view this as very much the exception because it's the Scarsdale Teachers Institute, and so that we wouldn't expect that there would be a lot more sort of community service oriented, classes where the teachers aren't the students, where it's not professional development.
Right, well, yeah, we don't offer very many classes at all. This is actually the only one that's non-credit. But in a way, Jen Nassau is a student in that class as well as being the teacher because she's gaining insight into what it's like to be an ENL family from the parents. So we're talking about parents of kids who are in kindergarten through 5th grade, and their own kids may not be able to tell them what's going on. They might not know what's going on, so they can explain their situation to Jen, who then takes that information to the monthly meetings that she has with the other teachers. So it spreads that direction. So.
And I have one other question on that. She gets paid, I mean, the instructors get paid, right? So
She does.
Is that, is there some sense of, I'm just curious how much roughly it is, because that'll give a sense of the cost of the course.
Yeah, she gets $800 per semester.
Okay.
So for a class that runs 8 one-hour sessions,
Okay.
she gets,
So we're not talking about a large amount. I mean, it's a
No.
large amount on one level.
no, and it's a very good investment to get the information that we get from the parents who are in that situation.
Okay, thanks.
And thank you. And I just wanted to add to the Summit on Positive Education, there are a lot of courses that are offered that are open to everyone on positive education. The Challenge 2 course, the Mindfulness course, the Type course. And Elliot Cohn himself has 3 courses: Critical Skills for Success, Beyond Intelligence and the 3 Rs, Best Educational Practice for Classroom Management and Student Engagement, and From Couch to Classroom, Psychological Interventions for Educators. So those 3 courses are very much positive education that are open to everyone. But this course was an opportunity to share best practices in being a leader in positive education. And so starting it this year with a tight group and then hopefully expanding it the following summer to include more teachers and possibly even bring in speakers from other schools and so forth.
Thanks.
So, any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, that brings us to the conclusion of our action items, information items. And moving on to 6.0, action items.
Okay.